Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Jumping right into my watch list for today. Most of it's continuation names. I know that AMD had a PR this morning with Meta. Clearly, this 219s levels will be key. It is coming into a bunch of overhead moving averages here, so I prefer to kind of wait for a delayed reaction, wait for it to build a little bit, and have the moving averages realign. That's just my preference. So I don't know how much strength there will be today. It will be, it will be watched, but I doubt I have any interest in trading it. NVMI, a very clean trender here that is starting to tighten up and flag. So I'm just looking for a trend over that 448.50s kind of pivot level. We got VRT, which had a gap up out of this really nice multi-month base off of their earnings. And now we have this little bit of a, tightening flag going on, and we have decreasing volume, day by day until yesterday, where it closes, in the top, half of its range and candle, and this is when it starts to attempt to push out. So, the volume yesterday was, I believe, just a bit higher than the prior day, but that's the start of the attempt to move back out towards the upside, and now we're getting a little gap. So, potential delayed reaction to DLV type of setup to their earnings. We have AA aluminum name, which also has been trending really well. Was a little bit choppy in this base, but now moving averages are starting to catch up. We have this tightening little not really an inside day, but a very tight day. So anything over that 60s, 61 level, potential interest for just a leg up. Then we got these two memory names, STX and MU. Flagging really nicely. Obviously, we have SanDisk as well, but SanDisk, the entry was probably 3-4 days ago. And then we also have WDC, which has just been a grinder. It's not really. This is not really giving much. This is a clear kind of just trend line that it has going. If it just cracks through there, it could reverse. But STX and MU, kind of look a bit different from the rest. But obviously, they're probably going to end up moving all in tandem. So just probably worth keeping an eye on SanDisk alone. And then we got SOXL. NVIDIA earnings are tomorrow, so obviously, that will have some sort of effect. But really tightening up and flagging very well up here. So, we have that clear 67.80s pivot. But again, with NVIDIA's earnings out tomorrow, you just don't know. But looks really good. So that's pretty much what I got today. I pass it right over to Josh.
Yep. Good morning. Can somebody in the chat just
perfectly?
Okay, thank you. I have Fang on watch. It's my first name. It's an energy name. They had an earnings report last night. They missed because of a large one-time impairment charge. But as crude rises and the energy sector firms up, this is something that I'm going to be interested in if we can go red to green here off of the open. So I will be watching. It's not trading much volume right now, but it does trade a decent amount daily. So I will be watching for a red to green pivot off of the open and see if we can't get a trend. Another name that I'm watching that was outlier strength yesterday, and I should have taken this yesterday, was BE. Powering the grid. GE Veranova was strong as well. Both names have a good amount of range. This one has more on an average daily basis. Kind of same thing here, looking versus 155, 154 for a red to green move through the highs of yesterday, which was 161.25. And this is on the long side. This is if the market holds up. So it's definitely something that you have to keep your eye on, whether the Qs and the SPY and the IWM are going to hang on, which is why that I have them above all the individual names that I'm watching. But even though it was kind of a choppy and down day yesterday, BE still had an all-day trend in it. GE Veranova had an all-day trend in it. So just kind of being where money is going into as a best practice. And then AMD, I'm not ultra convinced of this. They had a similar deal with OpenAI back a while ago. I'm not sure exactly which day, but like Judah said, there is moving average resistance above. So watching 219, 220 and seeing how we act off of the open, giving it a little bit of time and maybe for a fade. And this to be watched with the NASDAQ and SOXL as well. We do have earnings on NVIDIA tomorrow. Judah also stated that, but it's going to ripple throughout the semiconductor sector. Names will move on NVIDIA's reaction to its earnings and whether people think that this data growth is going to go on for this year, next year, and maybe even 2028, or if it's going to start to slow down in any way. As we've seen, the capex from the hyperscalers is huge, and there's no signs of any slowdown. But I do think the reaction to NVIDIA's earnings is just going to be it's going to cause, I think it will cause big price shocks in the overall market. That's it for me, and passing this right along to Emil.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Morning, everyone. So for me this morning is going to be gold on radar. I like the fact that, have had this breakout, which I think trapped a lot of people. Now it's gapping down and obviously some selling pressure. So I am going to watch any pops this morning against more or less 474-ish area, see if it's going to have some stuffy action there, and then looking for more unwind. And, in the first stage, I'm thinking maybe a gap close, then we shall see if it's going to continue to stay heavy during the day and especially later in the day. So if so, then looking to swing it over, and then we shall see from there if in the next few days it will manage to hold a trend or is just going to show more sign of weakness. Palantir, another name I'm watching. This one, it's barely hanging around here, still looking for pretty much this low. And if there is going to be any washout after the open, I'm going to watch more or less this 126.50 area, see if we'll manage to bounce from there. If it's going to go under and it's going to pop later, I might short against that area, or if it's going to bounce from here, then might be a long. So only reactive trades on this name based on how overall market is going to move. Netflix, similar price section, more or less. And again, same thing here, pretty beat up chart. We shall see if there is going to be any washout out of the gate, see if we'll find some sort of support there. Then I'm going to watch for a bounce, and that would be one scenario. Or if it's going to get under, and stay heavy, pretty much same plan like on Palantir. Now, also keeping an eye on AVGO. AVGO had a nice rejection yesterday, and this morning it's gapping down. Well, really nothing here, but if it's going to push back against 327-ish and then potentially mid-morning, and then it's going to show some sign of weakness, I'm going to be mostly interested in a move there. More or less, so far it's looking like C had yesterday a push and some sort of rejection. The sell-off yesterday was more violent than on AVGO, but more or less I'm looking for a continuation of that rejection from yesterday. What else? AMD, of course, same plan like Josh has. We shall see if this 219 to 20 area is going to find some sort of resistance. But to me, this one at this stage, it's going to mostly be shorting pops, risking pre-market highs. So I'm going to watch for any pops against that area, and then we shall see if it's going to have some downside move. And the only things I'm watching for a potential long swing, it's VRT, which has a nice build up after earnings, and I'm going to watch dips versus 247-ish, and then we shall see if it's going to build up there. And the last one is MGY, which it's putting a tight range and close to a breakout, but also not really that convinced on this name. So I would really like to see that build up first, mostly because lately we had so many breakouts that failed. So if it's going to push early in the morning and then show sign of weakness later, then I'm going to be on toes, and that's that pretty much. So yeah, that's all I have for today, guys, and have a nice one.
Yep. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Emil. Thank you, everybody.